I'm going to talk about the link between you suffering burnout in your business over and over again and how you were parented. And in particular, if you were parented in an unpredictable way. Now, this is you. If you find that time management is a big issue and you have a lot of problems keeping up with your schedule. Also, if you are a big people pleaser and if you have problems setting boundaries, that would be you. Also, if you find that you do in your work, you do a lot of stuff and you feel unappreciated a lot and even leads to feeling resentful, that would be you. And what I'm talking about here is something called attachment style. In particular, it's the anxious, preoccupied attachment style. Now, if you want to know more about attachment styles, there's lots of information and a website I would really recommend where you can even take a quiz is the Attachment Project, and you can take a quiz to find out what attachment style you are. So all these things are would be familiar to you if you are the anxious, preoccupied attachment style. And what happens with people who are attached, who've got this attachment style, is that they're constantly vigilant. What people are doing, what people in your business are doing, what your clients are doing, and what you'll find is that if you get emails, you like to reply straight away, to text as well. You're not going to sort of have a look at a text and go away and think about it. You want to reply. And the first thought that comes to your head a lot of the time, if there's an email, it's like panic. What if there's something wrong? What if I don't reply to this client and I don't make this client happy and they run away? Now, that's because your biggest fear is the fear of abandonment, and that supersedes any other need that you have. So what you'll find is a lot of your other needs get pushed to the side and they don't get met because you're running on empty, trying to please other people so they don't abandon you. And that's running underneath, whether you're conscious or unconscious of it. And where that comes from is if you had a loving parent who exhibited love and gave you attention a lot of the time, but other times they weren't able to, either because they didn't know how or they didn't have time, then what will happen is you're going to find, your coping strategy will be to find ways to please that parent, to make that parent happy so that they can give you the love and attention that you needed because you had sort of additional need for that and you didn't know how else to get it. Or maybe you had lots of siblings and you were vying for attention. So you will learn how to please others in order for you to feel calm and feel okay that they're not going to run away and abandon you. That's what's running underneath. Now, the good news is that because that was created in the first couple of years of your life and you weren't born with it, attachment styles can change. You can actually change that. And you can change that by using tools to become more secure. Now, if you want to know more about how attachment styles work, there's a really good book called Attached by Amir Levine. It's based on personal relationships, but the same applies for business relationships too. There hasn't been much written about business relationships, and that's why I decided to do this video. Now, what to do about it? How do you change? Now, the first thing is becoming aware that this is your attachment style. This is how you respond to stress. You please others, you do everything for others so you can feel okay. And becoming aware is really, really important. And it's not just becoming aware what your behavioral patterns are, but also what your self-talk is like. So a lot of people who do have this attachment style, and the self-talk is very negative, it's very catastrophic, everything's going to go wrong if I don't do this thing. And it really doesn't help, and it makes you more and more anxious, which brings me to the second point. The second step to take is in order to do things in a more secure way, you need to manage your emotions, because all these emotions are going to come up, because you haven't learned the skill of how to self-soothe, how to self-regulate. Therefore, you need to use tools to learn that now. Now, read up on different types of emotional regulation. You might choose to do meditation, you might choose to do breathing exercises, especially in the moment, AFT, journaling, and my favorite one is hypnotherapy. I prefer hypnotherapy, and I use it in my coaching practice because it changes you without thinking about the little details of where you do this, how you do it, and trying to micromanage each and every way that you behave in a way that could lead you to burnout. Now, what hypnosis does is it just rewires the brain to work in a secure way, and that's why I prefer it and need and use it. Now, when you start to manage your emotions around that, and your biggest need isn't the avoidance of abandonment, you can then start following up on your other needs and seeing what else you need and how to bring it to yourself. And another big subject that usually people with this attachment style have got problems with is setting boundaries. Now, again, that comes from the fear of abandonment, fear of something's going wrong, the response of people if they set boundaries. And so the next thing to learn is how to set healthy boundaries using effective, assertive communication. That would be really, really useful on your path to becoming secure. Now, if you want to know more about how I work, I'm putting my website down below, and feel free to ask me any questions. I'll be very, very happy to answer any of them.